in this road of hurt because of narcissistic abuse. Things just are, and it is very hard reality to accept the fact that things just are, and I have no control over many things, but I also can have control over some things. And I was filled with rage, and after the second the third narcissist ruined my life in the academy. I was doing the doctorship thing at the university, and that got all ruined because of another narcissist. 6 months before the Narc 2, a girl broke up with me, so it was lots of blows, and I tried to react. I lasted a month and a half, then I fell with lots of anger, rage, and depression. Depression came after my anger. I realized that I had nothing to do with the anger. The desire for, I can speak for myself. The desire of my anger was to kill. I didn't expect to go to the law. I just wanted to end the bastard's life. I thought, then you have lots of fantasies. I thought about hiring a gunman to destroy him, and not only him, the two narcissists, him and the girl. I thought about, but in the end, it just you have no power to avoid the consequences of those actions. So anger and anger and anger and sadness became depression. I couldn't function. I couldn't eat. Couldn't think. Only think about the sadness and the rage, or I could only sleep and cry and stay the whole 24 hours in bed. And I was also in therapy. I was in therapy, so there was a session in which I told my therapist, I'm out of control. I am fighting for no reason with everyone. If I hear something that I think is abuse, I abuse back, which to me was just self-defense, but I realized I was becoming like the narcissist. Feeling wounded and then attacking. So that was not defense, that was just attacking. I was doing the same as a narcissist. It was attacking under the disguise or the discourse of I'm defending myself, which is a load of shit. You have no right to attack anyone. You're doing something wrong that you received does not justify your wrongdoing to anyone. So that's just the way things are. That's why I told you. They just are, and there's nothing we can do about it. So when I told my therapist I feel out of control with this rage, more and more depressed and enraged because I cannot get my revenge. And she said, we all have frustrations. You are going to have to deal with this frustration. This is going to be one frustration of yours. You won't be able to do what you want. You won't. So, and then she said, now I need help. You know, I want you to go see a the guy who is not only a psychologist, but he can give you a recipe for some meds, you know. So I need chemical help, she said. Because the therapy was not working, I was just having discussions with my therapist full of rage, and everything she said, I was just counter, you know, just discuss, discuss, endless discussion. It looked like I was stuck in a cycle of rage. Old cycle that I knew very well, the cycle of abuse, they call it. But it's just I was abusing myself. Because, you know, when you discuss with a therapist, the therapist is there as a professional, so he doesn't take things personally, so you can say whatever you want. They know how to handle that. So I went and got medicine for depression. It was a citalopram. Took it, and it really did what I was in need, because it alleviated, it kind of numbed my pain, so I could start eating again and gaining weight again, because I was growing thinner and thinner because of the pain, you know. And it numbed the rage, so I could sleep with a little better quality. And so the rage up to that point, it was helpful and it was good to me. After Narc 2 left me, especially because of the romantic entanglement and the relationship, the rage, as I once heard a quote in the serial Hannibal, the rage, anger is an energizing emotion. And even the guy, that comedian Billy Connolly, he said a lot of his energy comes from anger, because he can go into the stage, walk up to the stage and say the things that he will never be able to say otherwise. So I believe that anger is an energizing emotion. And scientific things also can prove that, studies and stuff. And it's a evolutionary thing too. It's in our DNA or limbic system, something like that. So rage was helpful in order to heal me. So I started to understand that wonderful person was not really that wonderful person. So anger started to show me reality, that the person was annoying, the person was disgusting. The things that the person said started to make me feel like I was going to throw up. I started to feel, how could I get involved with something like this? How did I not see this coming or something? Anger started to reveal me the truth. And through anger, I got rid of messages, I got rid of memorabilia from the relationship. I got rid of photos, I got rid of connections, online connections. So anger was very helpful in order to, so that the battle that goes on inside, the Neuro Instincts is a channel on YouTube, lots of good videos about psychopathy and psychopathic abuse, and they say the brain wants to make sense of all the shit that happened, so the brain cannot stop thinking about that. So there's no way to say to somebody, get over it or stop thinking about it, do something else, because the brain wants to solve the lots of lies, gaslighting, the whole trouble we know well. So anger was part of that. It made me realize that God, that thing was wrong. I was not wrong. I was just acting normally. The same Hannibal thing quote that I remember, and I already cited here in one of those videos on this channel. I said Hannibal Lecter in the series said, what, abnormal behavior under abnormal circumstances is normal behavior. Something, no, is a abnormal reactions to an abnormal situation is normal behavior. So because the situation is from the start abnormal, is from the start, is comes from dysfunction. So anger was very helpful, but then came a point in which it stopped being helpful and began to be a problem. The most obvious of them is loss of control, hopelessness, feeling defeated, and because I felt powerless to take my revenge. Depression. So my therapist, has got a lot of a positive way of thinking, looking about life. So my therapist, and then the acetylopren, and then her advice, her orientation in order to detoxify my life, sorry, because depression, you never, it's not never gonna change your state of mind. Therapists, they say you gotta do the behavior first, and then the emotions and the mind will follow. So I started to go out with my dog, and I was afraid of people, so eventually somebody would stop me to talk about the dog, and that happened, and then that started to detoxify my life from the anger, because that anger was helpful in order to heal me, but then it began to become a poison. So I had to do something to detoxify my life. So the reasons was because the way just are: depression and loss of control. Fighting with everyone for every reason. Fighting with my mom, which is the most important person in my life. Fighting with my therapist, which is a lovely person too. So I began to feel like I was the narcissist. I became my abuser. So I was losing control. Couldn't recognize myself in that anger. Peter Steele was a singer for the band Typo Negative, is a doom metal band. He has a song in which he says, anger, rage, turning me into someone I don't know. That's true. That happened to me. So I had to detoxify my life. You know, I had to. It's not the thing that I wanted to. You know, it was either that or pain. You know, because depression is painful, and you know you want something you cannot have, which is the death of some monster. So that's painful. So I had to do that in order to survive. You know, walk the dog and then start uh, playing some gigs and get in contact with my talents again, which is a very important thing. Let my light, interior light, shine, and I had to. You know, I had no other way, so I had to get rid of the excess of rage, which once was helpful and became to be a poison in my life. I'm still frustrated, of course, still full of rage, as many people can see in some comments that I wrote. Some days it's hard, you know? Some days you remember the whole thing, you remember everything's the same. The guy is very happy living his own life. While I'm here, I had this thing taken from me, and I cannot collect what is mine, you know? 4 years of hard work thrown into the wind, thrown into the trash can because of a narcissist and his petty. Uh, oh, I'm so hurt. I cannot be hurt by anything or anyone. Everybody's hurt. Why does he feel so special? He cannot take consequences for his actions. It's a bunch of assholes, these narcissists, you know. Everybody's suffering here.